It's Monday. I'm honest, and this is the show, The Honest Experience. CRT, defund the police. White people are born racist, and let's tear down statues. This is just some of the craziness that's going on in our nation. My son asked me a great question last week that I thought I'd share here. See what you guys think. Let you guys know what I said. He asked me, those people that were tearing down those statues, some of those were bad people. So why is that bad? So this is what I told him. Since we became a nation, we've always tried to succeed and do better. We didn't always act perfect, or, there's a lot of things that we could have done, but we've always worked better to fix. And generation by generation, we fixed what else the previous generation didn't get to. I'd say now, yeah, we have a lot of problems in the world, but our nation, just our nation, you could pretty much be who you want to be. You can go out and get a job. I mean, unless if you're going in there to purposely mess it up. I mean, you go out there, it might take some tries, but you're going to get a job. You can go to school. Anybody can go to school. It might be hard. I know it was hard for me. I was a single father when I went back, but I went and did it. I never thought I would be able to do it, but I ended up doing that. And I decided to make it happen because I wanted to look at my son before he graduated high school and say, hey, not only did I get my high school, but then I turned it into getting a degree. But since we became a nation, first we came over here and colonized and got away from the evil England Empire, and we became a nation, started getting states starting getting involved. Yes, you can complain about how that has happened, but that has happened everywhere. And we became a leader in the world with these laws that are protecting you. And we have been the standard for that. So when you go and tear down statues, you're erasing not just bad history, you're erasing our history that we looked in the eyes and we defeated, we came up from. You can sit there with your kid and look up at a statue and say, look at that person. We defeated it. Down a statue, it tears away what we have accomplished. And we need to be able, from generation, as things, even if you hear about it, even reading it in books, as we get farther and farther and that history gets distant, it's not like, yeah, we know we went through World War II, but I wasn't born. I really don't know. It's not that big of a deal. We need a reminder of why we went through World War II. We need a reminder why we had the Civil War. We need a reminder. And it's not at all to be a stick in the eye. It is because of the fact that we can look up and say, look what we accomplished. Look at our history. And so why do we need this out? Why can't it be in a museum? Well, one, for obvious reasons, not everybody goes to museums. Maybe we should, but we don't. Two, some of these people that did bad things and what we consider bad now, right or wrong, was not all bad back then. And as I started with, as we grew from England into colonization to a nation, we started to learn from the mistakes, and not everything was perfect. You have to imagine back then when we had it all, there was barely any laws. Everybody hated everybody. You can go out and shoot anybody. People were just ransacking countries or places that probably weren't even countries then, just taking over land, building empires. And we end up getting these strong-willed people and said, enough is enough. We're going to make this country free. And they worked every day. So on day one, you had 100% of the problems. By day 2,581, we're starting to work on some of these severe problems. But you still have all these other problems, and it might have been that they didn't know better. It might have been that they did, but it was just too much. They wanted to work on. I mean, each time for women's rights, for blacks and African Americans to be free, none of this should have ever happened in the first place. I totally agree. I can't change that it didn't that it did happen. I really wish, because as I said before in another video, I think looking at somebody just because of the content of their skin is, and to hate them is stupid. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. I come from a mixed family. Maybe that's why. I absolutely do not get it. You're really gonna, even back then, it seems so stupid that these people were obviously born this way, and you didn't like them. It's stupid. But this is what our history came from, and it not just American history. This happened in England. This happened in Canada. This, I mean, no, all you think that the people that settled in Canada, you think that they didn't have their hands dirty? Everybody had their hands dirty. Everybody had their hands dirty. Some just did it better than others, and that's what people right now are focusing on and hating, and we shouldn't. But as an American, you should look at your history and think, that's what we've gone through today, where I can be married to someone of a different race and have a child that is of mixed race. You have people that don't like it, but I can walk around. I don't get arrested for it. I don't do nothing. And if we go and take excuse me, if we go and take down statues, all those slaves that fought hard for today started that, it's for nothing. It's for nothing. I don't agree with taking down Martin Luther King name off of streets. I don't agree with taking anybody that has made a difference off. We need to learn from our mistakes. Now, I do agree also there was some there's a difference between crazy people. I wouldn't want Hitler, just his statues just hanging around, but we need to have something to show who we defeated. That was pure evil. That was pure evil. And we do need to separate the pure evil from people that did some bad things at that time that actually was evil, but they were trying to do good. I hope people in this day and age, it doesn't matter how much you over talk at people, are going to manipulate it, but we need to learn from our history. We don't need to be tearing it down. We don't need to be glorifying people like Hitler. I agree. But we also need to understand that the American flag, and on the 4th of July, when those fireworks are popping off, It's freedom. And it's not freedom for one person. And if you feel that way, I'm sorry. But there is something wrong. And we do need to fix it. But freedom is for everybody that's on this land. And freedom does not come without a cost. And freedom does not mean you just get to go around and have everything or you get to come in. How to keep freedom is having military, paying your military, protecting yours, having those people come in that really, really need to come in, whether they really are getting persecuted like the Jews did during the Nazi era, or those that are actually going to help in seceding our country up to higher standards and levels. In a lot of countries, I couldn't do this, regardless if I'm going to get anybody to watch or not. There's countries I could not do this and talk the way that I talk. We are getting close there with some things. Look at it. Regardless if you are on that side, there are things that people are that's happening that shouldn't be happening. It should not. But when my son asked me that last week, I wanted to talk about it on Friday. Friday, we put up what was going on. But I know you guys hear about how we need to learn from our history. I know you guys have heard all this stuff, but I thought actually hearing how we broke away and how we continue breaking away. That's pretty cool, man. Other countries, we set examples for other countries. Yes, you're going to be able to find in this certain aspect, this certain scenario, maybe, but we started leading the way. We are still the shining example of freedom. Look at Cuba. Just look at Cuba and how Cuba is still like that. That in today's age, you guys are wanting to get riled up because somebody didn't call you the proper pronoun, or because somebody's on their own lawn outside without a mask. But there are countries where you cannot be free and bitch and complain like you do. That we have came a long ways, and we do not want to be like Cuba. You can hate what I say, you can love what I say, but we need to keep freedom and difference. I would never shut down anybody unless if they're outright just wanting to, like when Maxine Waters was standing in that big circle and the media was just loving what she was saying, and she was telling them to go out and disturb them while they eat, get up in the faces, do whatever it takes. She has a lot of power, a lot of say, and she was causing people to get punched while they were eating. That's not okay. That's not what I'm talking about. But we need to we do need to understand that overall we're learning from our history. We're always getting better. It doesn't matter what race you are, what gender you are, what orientation, creed. I have worked with all sorts of colors, all sorts of religion, all sorts of orientations. Everybody get along, everybody works. People will run into idiots. And if you're an idiot, you can find idiots too. Maybe some people need to look at themselves. You run around and you pop off your mouth all the time, and then you wonder why somebody finally says something to you. But we're living in a day and age where we're crying about spilt milk, and we should take a look back. There's a lot of people that are just getting right up on camera, getting right up on social media, typing away, saying stuff that they have no idea about. They won't watch the actual video and they'll complain about it. They won't read history and complain about it. We as Americans have got to do better. Say it all the time. I'm going to keep saying it. We have got to learn from our history. And right now, history in a form of way is repeating themselves in a new way by we are not hating on color. We are not hating on where you come from or your gender or your who you choose to be with. No, we're hating on politics. We're hating because people agree with it. And you could be on the same side, but if you go but, and you have that agreement with somebody on the other side, you're dog meat on both sides. We're coming down to adults, kids arguing over politics and why we're doing over that. The little kids are out there destroying our streets, wanting to live like they can go and dress up and do whatever they want and however they want, whatever that role playing game is. Now they want it to be reality, and we're just letting them do whatever. And the more it happens, the more it's snowballing, the more it keeps going, and nobody is worrying about history. Nobody is worrying about getting things done down in Washington, D.C. People like myself are making videos over stupid things because we're wanting to get rid of police. We're wanting to say somebody is born racist because, of a skin color, where everything is repeating itself but reversed in a new way. And now we're hating people because of politics. When I was growing up, before I even knew what this stuff was, kids weren't getting into it, and you didn't see adults at all really seeming like it was a priority. But now adults are teaching kids in schools, at home. It's all they're talking about. And kids are doing whatever. Men need to be at home and be dads. Moms need to be at home and be moms. Life is not perfect. If it's not that way, we do better. And we always look to do better each day. Individual, country, stop with the nonsense. Anyway, so I don't know if you guys noticed the new place. This is where we're going to be filming at from now on. We might tweak it up here and there a little bit, but I think it's going to be a lot better, a lot easier, a little bit smoother. Still getting up, going today, trying to figure everything out, but I think it went all right. If you liked what I had to say today, maybe you didn't, but you just want to help somebody starting out, hope you'll like, comment, subscribe, share this, please. I hope you have a great day. God bless, and see you.